I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to record a video today called Streamers Hate Lurkers. Streamers Hate Lurkers. Over the last week, a narrative has taken hold on Twitter to suggest that Twitch has changed the way that they count viewers. Tweeted about this yesterday. Can't prove if it's intentional or not, but Twitch is nerfing streamers with fewer than 100 average viewers, i.e. they're not counting all viewers, even if active. Twitch is keeping those streamers from growing. They need to fix it. Just out of curiosity. Let's do some research. Let's do a live research right now. Let's do it. Let's click on my users and let's count how many are here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 6, 9, 7, 98 people. Now, how many people are currently watching? 80. Okay. So 18 people who are connected to chat are not currently watching the stream, or a variety of other outcomes on why that might be the case. There's a very high likelihood that a bunch of these are bots. Ella is a bot. Alicidra, I believe, is a bot. Alien Gathering is a bot. So we're 5 viewers in, and I've got three people who are bots. We can continue going down here. There's going to be a bunch of people like Kata. Kata is a person, but they connect to a whole bunch of different chats. They are not actively watching the stream right now. They're using something called Chatterino, which is very, very common for older users of Twitch. Most people who join Twitch within the last 2 or 3 years don't really use Chatterino. They kind of use just the default experience. But people who are longer term users use it in every single one to keep an eye on if they're in mods in different chats and stuff like that to see what ends up happening. Especially before, when Twitch didn't have the preloading the last 30 minutes of chats. That was one way that people kind of kept tabs on what was happening in chats that they weren't actively in. But people still can chat. PupTime is a bot. That is a bot. It types in chat. When it types in chat, you would go, hey, look, PupTime is typing in chat. Somebody do some PupTime commands. Look, there he goes. Look at him. Look at him posting all the emotes. PupTime. Is that a real person watching? No. They might be here. It's possible they might be watching the player, but generally speaking, they're not. They're a bot that you invite into your stream that chats in your chat. So now I could say, oh, well, PupTime was chatting. Why were they not counting in the viewership? There you go. Stream Elements, a bot that I use, as well as Nightbot, a bot that I use. Are they actively watching? No, but they can type in the chat, which explains why you might have a higher chatter number than your actual view count. This is the problem, is that people don't understand that there's these discrepancies between the view count, which is based on the number of people who have come to your channel and are actively consuming the content. It doesn't matter if it's muted, but as long as this player is playing, I would count as a viewer. If I do this, guess what? No longer counting as a viewer because the player isn't playing. Even if I sat here and said, I'm typing in chat. I'm typing in chat. Am I not a viewer? I'm not. I'm not actively playing the player. I'm a chatter, but I'm not a viewer. Okay? So it's another reason why you might see a discrepancy here. If you go off tab, right? And now you're sitting it's in the background. It's playing. It's muted, but I'm not actively consuming it. Do I count as a viewer? Yes, you do. Unless a variety of scenarios where it might crash. If you raid a channel, oftentimes your player will crash. Are you counting as a viewer? No, you are not, because the player isn't playing. Here I am on YouTube, and I'm playing Twitch in the background, no audio, or even with audio. Right? Even with audio. And that player hangs, it pauses, it kind of freaks out. You get that error 200, and you don't recognize it because maybe you're not actively consuming it, or maybe it is muted, or the volume's super low on it. Do you count as a viewer? No, you don't. But you're still connected to chat. Your player, your browser, there's a new thing that came out in December for Chrome-based browsers, which saves memory by basically putting browsers to sleep. If you're not using a tab actively, it will go, we're going to shut it down to save memory because Chrome is a resource hog. It steals all of your memory. And so they're trying to do things that actively combat that. Are you then connected to the stream? No, because the stream is paused. The stream is over. You're not actively consuming. Chrome is putting that to sleep. Are you connected to the chat? Probably not, because again, if they're trying to put the entire tab to sleep, then to save memory, you might not be connected to the chat. I don't know exactly 100% how it works, but there you go. There's one other scenario here that's also important to know. Let me pull up a bunch of tabs. Selena, Rotten Pappy, who's also a 7-Eleven ambassador, by the way. Bojo Jen, Luna Lyric, right? I got all 4 of their tabs up. Looky here. Watching the player. There's the player. There's the player. Bojo Jen, it's loading. There we go. Luna Lyric's doing some stuff here during a stream. I can see her chat. Do I count in all of these streams? Probably not. Probably not. Okay? And the reason being is that you cannot have endless amount of tabs open playing players and count as a viewer. That number might be 2, it might be 3 from my testing and the testing of others. It kind of fluctuates between those two. If you have 3 monitors, it might be that you can have 3 tabs open. If you use different browsers, maybe you can use a combination of things where you actually count. That's different than things like drops, where you can have, I believe, 4 or 5 channels open and earn drops from them. So basically, there's a whole bunch of different conditions and situations where you might not count as a viewer of the stream, despite the fact that you can see chat, despite the fact that you're typing in chat. Despite the fact that you might actively be like, hey, I'm only in one stream, why would I not count? Well, there's a variety of situations why you might not. And again, people don't necessarily want to think about this, but you also have to think that it's also multi-platform. When you go to watch on mobile, you can watch on a mobile app, or you can watch on a mobile browser. You can watch on Samsung. You can watch on Apple TV. You can watch on Roku. You can watch on a tablet. You can watch on a PC. You can watch on a Mac. And every single one of those experiences is going to have a slightly different interaction with the overall Twitch core service. Whereas I probably believe... Again, I don't have data to support this. This is just a personal belief. I believe that the core experience of Twitch desktop is probably the most accurate. It is probably the one that if all 100 people that were typing in your chat were watching on mobile or on desktop, that probably the account would be the most accurate of anywhere else. Once you start adding in mobile and consoles and other player experiences, it's going to cause a discrepancy in terms of the real-time updates of view counts and chatter counts, etc., and so on. All it is to say is there's no grand conspiracy. There's no reason why Twitch would be like, we want people to have less viewers. We don't want people to become Twitch partners. We don't want people to become a Twitch affiliate. Why would they do that? They don't want people struggling. Twitch benefits, Twitch makes more money, and it has more opportunity to put up more ads when more people are watching. This is the part that I found kind of funny. So the past 2 weeks, I've been looking and deep diving into the numbers on Twitch, and it's really sad to see this going on. But Twitch isn't counting people who are lurking unless they interact with the stream and chat, which... So I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to record a video today called Streamers Hate Lurkers. Streamers hate lurkers. And everybody, everybody will say the opposite, say, no, I welcome lurkers. Lurkers are welcome in my stream. I want lurkers. If you want to watch my stream, please go ahead and do so. If you got to do other things, I completely understand. I appreciate having you here. But in reality, every streamer hates lurkers. Some of them hate them more than others, because of the fact that if you are a lurker, you don't, you're not typing in chat. And that means that there's less things for me to react to. And if there's nobody typing in chat, when somebody new comes in, they're going to be like, oh, this chat's kind of dead. Maybe I'll go somewhere else. But nobody's going to ever say that. Nobody's going to ever say that. Because ultimately, the reason why people end up worrying about their numbers is because they have too many people who are lurking or that are not actively typing, and then they'll blame Twitch saying it's lack of discovery and all these other things. But ultimately, if you lurkers are fine. Lurkers are great. I think lurkers are a fantastic thing. I appreciate the fact that most of you guys lurk. And that's going to be true for a lot of channels. And that the only reason why I think it's totally fine and don't mind at all is because I don't stress about my CCV. I'm not concerned about whether or not the people watching are actively consuming the content. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about getting to Twitch partner numbers. And I've never been. When I had 20 viewers, when I had 30 viewers, when I had 40 viewers, I didn't care if people lurked or not. If you wanted to lurk, great. But I took that as a personal responsibility to be like, I need to create interesting, engaging content that people want to actually engage and interact with and not passively consume. That was my choice. I decided that. And I said, hey, look, how am I going to get there? Well, over long time frames, that's probably going to be what tells me whether I'm a success or not, right? I don't care month to month that I had 27 and then went down to 26 and then went down to 21. I don't mind that I had 33 and then went down to 30, 28, 27, 24. I don't mind that in September 2022, I had 132 and then 117. And then in December, I only had 71. Didn't care. Because on the grand scheme of things, we're trending up. I'm creating content that I think is good. I'm trying to be interesting and engaging and hopefully provide reasons for you guys to directly interact. I don't see it again, from my perspective, I think it's exciting to get people to talk and to engage in conversation in ways that encourage you out of a lurk. So if you're concerned about viewer count, then you should be doing things to actively encourage people to participate, not guilt people, not be like, no, I love lurkers, but could you not lurk so much? I love you guys, but please lurk a little bit less than you currently do. I love lurkers. I love lurkers. I love lurkers. Lurkers are always welcome here. If you're doing things, totally fine. But maybe can you guys not lurk so much? Like, that's what's happening right now. Anytime you hear people that are complaining about lurkers not counting or viewership numbers are down or all these things, is that or it's like, it's a little bit, it's ultimately a sentiment of I hate lurkers, which is going to be common. Nobody's going to say it. No one's going to say it. No one's going to say it. No one's going to come out there and be like, I hate lurkers, because it's clickbait. It's not actually true. It's clickbait. But that's ultimately the sentiment of you want people to chat. You want people to chat. You do. You do. Every streamer does. It's so much easier to stream when you have a chat to talk to. Lurkers don't chat. They're fine to be there, but they don't chat. What I'm trying to say here, and I'm doing it in a clickbaity way and being a little bit off the rails and intentionally inflammatory, is because it is going to, there's a level of truth in it, in that a lurker ultimately doesn't necessarily help a stream grow. It did in the past. I will say that the one of the funny things about Twitch, as it's kind of evolved, when all of Twitch was organized by viewers high to low, yeah, you'd want more lurkers. You'd want more people. You'd want more anything to increase the overall view count on your thing, which would put you higher up in really the only discovery method, which is sorting by category. Again, this is before they introduced recommended, keep in mind. That was the only way to get more people to watch your streams, which is why the top streamers are the top streamers. They all work with each other. They all hosted each other. They all ultimately had this kind of place that the kingmaker of Twitch's lack of discovery kept them kings. But now it's less important. It's less important. Look at my recommended for just chatting.
Bits.
1.2K, 23, 10, 295, 46, 23, 72, 120, 13, right? This is not high to low. This is based upon recommended. We actually have some level of discovery here for people who don't have a high view count. Now, what I will say now, again, and why I go back to the clickbait of all streamers hate lurkers, is that when you join a stream, what's going to be the indicator of whether you stay or not? You might listen to the streamer a little bit, but you're probably going to look at chat. You're probably going to see if people are actively engaged there, which is, again, why Twitch now has a preload of previous chat. Because if you jump into a stream with no active chat, are you going to be the first one to actually speak up? I don't know. Maybe. But if you see some people already typing, maybe you feel a little bit more comfortable jumping in and knowing where things were when you came in, what people are talking about. This is a game changer that effectively is, hey, lurkers, type. Don't just come in and watch the stream. Come in and type. Look, there's already some text here. Come type some more. So lurkers are great. Lurkers are fantastic. They're going to increase your overall CCV. They're going to increase the number. Your overall viewership number is going to go up if you have more people lurking. But it's a terrible metric to consider on short time frames. My average viewership is down 49% over the last 7 days. Damn. How'd that happen? Man, I gotta feel bad about myself. I had a stream that only had 85 average viewers. Damn. I gotta feel bad. If I go on the 30-day, okay. Well, now it's not so bad. Up 42%. If I go on the 90-day, well, damn. Down 16%. But if I go long term, this is where CCV starts to matter. This is where you can actually see what viewership trends you're having. Because day to day, week to week, month to month, it might be too short. There's too many things that can change. Maybe you got a huge host from Ninja. Maybe you're front paged one day. All those kind of things are ultimately going to have these massive ups and downs in terms of your overall viewership. But on the long term, as long as your chart looks like that, generally trending up, who cares about the day-to-day number of people that are in your chat? Who cares about the number of lurkers? Who cares about the number of chatters? Who cares about that CCV number? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Long time frame, that's when it does. So that the whole premise of focusing on CCV and being like, no, I have to get partner numbers and the partner push and we have to get there. What a bad mentality to be stuck in, because it's not going to get you there. It's not going to get you there. People, for every bit that you feel better when you have a big number like so, maybe that increases your mood 10%, right? Like, damn, I feel so good about myself. This month we did so good. We had 136 average viewers. And then 2 months later, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, I only had 70 average viewers. I'm the worst streamer. I've lost everything. It's all over. And that's the sentiment that ends up happening, is when people have down periods, they look for reasons to blame why they're struggling. They look for anything to be like, how can I get myself through this? How can I figure this out? What did I do? What did I change? What did my content get to that all of a sudden people hate me? And it happens. I hear it all the time. I hear it so much from streamers. And that mood ultimately impacts their content, where they continue to drop. You can't spend your time worrying about CCV. All the time you worry about CCV is better spent working on creating better content, coming up with ways to entice people to chat, to come up, make it a challenge of your stream. Do you have a chat counter that if they beat, you get an extra hour of stream? Like, there's ways in which you can do stuff that turns a problem into something that creates better content. And that's the way you should be looking at it. So to go back to this post, right? This is a post of recommendations based upon weeks of research. This is what you have to do for this person's stream in order to count, because we're going to blame Twitch for not counting my viewership, which is essentially saying, hey, lurker, stop fucking lurking so much. Watch my fucking stream and chat. That's what this is saying. When first entering a chat, do command lurk. So fuck your lurk. Immediately stop lurking. If you join the stream, you can't lurk. No lurkers allowed in chat. Click your daily bonuses, and every hour send a heart into chat that says a chatter has to send 3 messages in a 2-minute time span to count as a viewer. So now we're just coming up with things. Now we're just going, okay, now you got to send 3 messages every 2 minutes. Otherwise you don't count. If you send 2 messages, you're still a lurker, you pieces of shit. No fucking lurkers. Everybody count to 3. Everybody count to 3 right now. 1, 2, 3. I need to see everybody doing it. If they don't chat for 2 minutes, they do not count any longer. So again, this is why the clickbait, making a video clickbait saying streamers hate lurkers is true. That's what this is saying. We do not care. We do not want your lurk views because lurk views do not count anymore. And if you don't count as a viewer, what good are you to the streamer? Mods are considered a viewer with or without chatting. Raiders have a 2-minute window that viewership drops off back to before the raid. No. Anybody who's been on this platform for literally longer than forever. If you've been on this site since 2015, 2017, 2018, everybody knows. Here's what happens. Raid comes in, 1,000 people join. You get raided by stock guy, right? And your viewership goes from 10 to 930, let's say, because there's an immediate drop off that happens. Within 5 minutes, 75% of those people statistically will be gone. They'll say the raid message in chat, and then they're gone. So now your number is down to something in the range of 200. And you know what? A lot of those people are going to be lurkers. And as they unlurk, some may hang around, but statistically, this number is just going to trail off. You're going to lose that over the next hour or two, or to the end of your stream. It's just going to happen. And that's just how raids work, is because while raids are the best discovery method, you're giving a warm lead. You're saying, hey guys, we're going to go raid this channel. We're going to go hang out with them. I love their content. Go hang out with them. It's great. It would be really cool if you hung out there for a while. Like every streamer says this. The reality is, if me as a viewer, maybe we do raid somebody that I go, hey, I actually like this person. A lot of the people that I've found that are great, I found through raids, and I appreciate that fact. It's like, oh, cool. Awesome. This person was actually great. But most of the time, I close the browser within 5 minutes. I go, I'm out. I got other content to watch. There's 10 other streamers that are currently live that I already have an existing viewing relationship with that I'd like to go watch them. In all lurkers no longer count in the viewership any longer. If you go to stream summary, go to chat messages, your highest messages will be your max view count. Man, let's find out if it's true. Let's find out if it's true. 148 was max viewers, max messages 55. Well, 130, 179. That kind of goes in the opposite way. That's the 7-Eleven stream. 147 and 153. That one's close. It's almost like there's no real correlation here. 86 and 46. When this was first happening, when this was like this first kind of sentiment was out there, late February, I was like, God, all right, here we go again. And like responding to people who had legitimate questions about it. And as it has gone deeper and deeper, it's just become increasingly more unhinged. And my patience with it has dropped as well, as you can tell. I feel bad. I just feel bad that like so many people are trying so hard to make streaming their thing and finding that growth is incredibly difficult. And instead of doing the self-reflective thing to be like, hey, how can I make my content better? How can I use TikTok to my advantage? How can I stream one less hour a day and instead post something to YouTube? It's easier and possibly better for discovery to just not lie on Twitter, but to come up with a reason why it's Twitch's fault. Why Twitch would actually want to harm creators on the platform. And again, keep in mind, Twitch does do things like the 50% split that are not inherently beneficial to creators. But like to kneecap themselves and be like, yeah, we don't count viewers as viewers anymore. It doesn't make any sense anywhere. There's no situation where this makes sense.